Porsche design. Porsche. Porsche. Porsche? Here we have the Porsche design P'9881 smartphone by Blackberry. This guy's been rumored. We had no idea what it was a few months back. Finally, RIM and Porsche came out and said that it is indeed a smartphone aimed at the very wealthy set among us. This was sent to us courtesy of our friends at Negri Electronics. Link's going to be down below to check this guy out or any of your smartphone needs. So I'm going to try and hold off as much as I can from making jokes about this guy until I get a chance to actually see it. So let's take a look at this just gargantuan box. And essentially what we've got here is a Blackberry Bold 9900 repackaged and made super expensive to the tune of just about $2,300. So you've got a very large box here, a little bit of that soft touch feel to it. You've got the P'9881 branding, Porsche design, and there's the Blackberry logo. It's all black, some sort of specs on the side, and a little bit about research in motion, and then just the serial numbers living on the right side. Let's go ahead and take a look at this guy. I'm actually really excited to see what this looks like. Go ahead and lift off the box. Looks like there's a little bit of a magnet in there that snaps it closed. And there is the Porsche design P'9981. Go ahead and lift this up. Looks like there's a little tab to pull it. And there it is. So we will very gingerly push this off to the side because this review unit has a you break it, you bought it policy. We've got a warranty for the UAE, United Arab Emirates, and I believe we'll see on the keyboard the letters are in Arabic, English, and they've got some numbers on there as well. So there's some UAE warranty. It comes with a dock, so you can obviously dock it. It's a very fancy dock. We'll talk about this guy in a few minutes. Got a piece of foam here. We'll lift that up. Cardboard backing. We've got the battery, which is the same capacity as the Bold 9900, which is 1,000 milliamp hours or 5 hours of talk time. Very thin, but this one says Porsche design, so that's new. We've got some manuals here. We got a lot of manuals. More manuals. Cleaning cloth. Yay! And more manuals. So if you want to do some light, tiny reading, that's going to be where you're going to want to look. And we've got another layer here. It's like a box of chocolates. There's always some delicious hidden underneath. And this is where the accessories are going to live. We've got a not gold-plated standard mic. I was trying not to make jokes. We've got a standard micro USB cord. We've got very thin and small USB adapter with heads for different countries, so you can see what's going to be offered. There's that guy, and then we got this guy, and then we got this guy, which will work in the US. So those are all those options. We'll put that back here as well. Then you're going to have a pair of headphones. Let's see what these are. They are pretty standard headphones. And these, generally I try and open up headphones, but these I'm going to leave in the bag. You can see they've got the little bit of a Porsche design logo on them, metal, and there's a microphone for entering and taking calls on there, and a little bit of earbuds. That's all I'm going to do. I don't want to open this thing up, at least as far as headphones go. So let's take a look at the phone, since that's what all this talk and fuss has been about. All right, so let's go ahead and see if we can power this guy on, and I'll run through the specs. We'll go ahead and pull off the back, which is all leather. I'm assuming there's a way to pop this back off. We'll go ahead and do that. We'll pop in the battery and see if we can get enough juice to have it turn on. Come on. Handling this thing so gingerly, the last thing I want to do is break it. Come here. All right, let's just get in there. All right, so after a few minutes of very gingerly trying to pull this back off, we've got the back off. Again, all leather. Let's go ahead and pop in the battery. And then eventually we will get to the specs. That's where your SIM card is obviously going to go. Battery goes in like this. Back goes back on like this. And there is that NFC antenna. Because the last time I'm going to take the back of this phone off. And that's where your micro SD card will go. And just out of curiosity, let's see what size this is going to come with. Hopefully it comes with a 95,000 gigabyte. Looks like it's a standard 16 gig Samsung variety, or SanDisk variety. So I'll push that guy back in. try and get this back on as gingerly as possible. Come on. Snap in place. All right. So now let's try and power this on, and I'll run you guys through the specs of it, which should sound very familiar if you've ever seen a BlackBerry Bold 9900. All right, so we've got the battery all in. Let me go ahead and run through the specs of this Porsche-designed BlackBerry. All right, so again, the cost is going to be just about $23-ish. It's running BlackBerry OS 7. From a design standpoint, it's 4.53 inches by 2.64 inches by 0.44 inches. It weighs 5.47 ounces. It's got a 2.8-inch touchscreen. It's a TFT display at the resolution of 640 by 480. 1,000 milliamp hour battery, as we mentioned, with 5 hours of talk time built into this guy. It's being powered by a Qualcomm 1.2 gigahertz single-core chip. That is the MSM8655, for those of you keeping track at home, with 768 megabytes of RAM, 8 gigs internal storage. We saw that 16 gig SanDisk micro SD card. On the camera side, let's go ahead and flip this on its hump and take a look at what we got. And what we got lives right there. That is a 5 megapixel camera with LED flash that can shoot the 720p recording. It's GSM HSPA Plus compatible for AT&T's HSPA Plus bands. It's got NFC in here as well as Bluetooth 2.1. So a few sort of notable points here. So what are you getting for this exorbitant cost for a BlackBerry? Well, you're getting this custom Porsche-designed BlackBerry skin, which looks pretty neat. You can see the icons here, what they look like. But those icons are really hard to determine what everything is. So just look at those icons right now and see if you can guess what all of them are. It certainly would take a little bit of getting used to. But the rest of the phone is pretty similar to BlackBerry. On the buttons here, you've got your send and end keys. You've got your BlackBerry menu button, your back button. Then you've got a 4-way trackpad. There's actually a little camera in there that'll determine which way you are going and scrolling. All right, let's talk about this keyboard a little bit, because this is where things get a little bit fun and unique. This is a stainless steel keyboard. Each key is uniquely carved, and each key has its own little bit of raising in there and ridge so you can feel the key. So if you look at sort of a standard key here, you're going to have, let's go ahead and look at one that doesn't have a number on it. You're going to have a letter, so look at H. H right there. This phone is geared towards the Arabic audience. You've got the Arabic lettering, and then you've got a symbol down below. If you've got one with numbers, then you've got numbers there as well, so you can sort of pick your keyboards. It makes for a very cluttered experience. It's hard to see which letters you are looking at because there's so much on there. From a side standpoint, you can see what that looks like. You can also see the key throw that goes into this. The keyboard, though, despite being a little bit cluttered, like most BlackBerries, is still an absolute pleasure to use. So if you're looking to pick one of these up and you're looking for a very easy typing experience, this is definitely going to be a phone that's going to deliver that. You've got your Porsche design logo on the top. On the back, I'm going to go ahead and peel this off here. You've got a leather backing. The specs that I mentioned, the same specs that we've got in the BlackBerry Bold 9900. You've got that P'9881 branding on the side. On the left-hand side of the phone, 3.5mm headset jack, micro USB charging. On the right, volume up and down, and then there's your mute button in the middle, and you've got a dedicated camera button. On the bottom, you've got connections for that dock, which we'll bring in just a moment. On the top, there is where your lock button is going to live. Let me bring in the BlackBerry Bold 9900 so you guys can compare and see what these two look like. This is the AT&T variant. Pretty similar. This is definitely a unique looking phone, but it certainly doesn't merit its exorbitant price tag. The BlackBerry Bold 9900 with the same specs in some places you can even get for free now. So you're looking at 2,000 times potentially the cost. You can see the thinness of those two. Let's go ahead and flip them over on the back. You can see what the back of these guys look like as well. We'll peel off this plastic, and you can see pretty similar. You got that carbon fiber S plastic back. We've got the leather here as well. Let's go ahead and turn this guy back over. I'll power the screen back on and see what else there's here, if anything, that's notable. It's pretty standard BlackBerry OS 7 fare here. Only thing that's different is the icons. The text here is a little bit different as well. The font, continue. You can see what some of the font menus and options look like here. It's just a little bit tweaked, but that's really about it. Nothing overly exciting other than to tell your friends, look what I got, look at my phone. It's probably more expensive than yours. All right, so let's take a look at this dock that is also going to come included with the Blackberry Porsche design. What is it here? The P'9881. So it goes ahead and drops right in. You can see those two connectors. And it does sit very flush. At least I would assume that's going to sit very flush in there. So you can go ahead and charge it. Cord goes right in the back. And then you can leave this sitting on your desk. And all your friends can say, you are awesome. You've got a super expensive phone. You have way too much money. Give me some. But that's at least what it's going to look like. Go ahead and pull this guy out. Any questions or things that you want to see about this particular device, go ahead and leave your comments down below. I'm John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo, and this has been an unboxing and first look at the most expensive phone I have ever tested or reviewed. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.